I was just thinking, seeing this picture and video on Facebook, and a lot of times, we tend to judge people by their physical features, and I'm one of them. Personally, I won't be attracted to a woman unless she's physically beautiful. And eventually, you get to know people emotionally, but it's just sad to see nowadays things like people having to do outrageous things to try to feel like they're beautiful, whether it be makeup, whether it be exercising when they don't want to, whether it be trying to fit a certain stereotype, I guess. It's just one of those things that I see every day. I work at GNC, and working there, you get to see a lot of insecurities. You get to see a lot of people who are unhappy with themselves, whether it be emotionally, physically, and you can tell, when I have a customer walk in and they come in and they seem really, really quiet, really shy. We try to be very genuine with people, and a lot of times they, when you're trying to approach someone who has insecurities, it's a very hard thing for them to kind of open up to you, and it's just sad to see that it's so common that industries such as GNC can thrive and stuff, and just on people's insecurities alone. Now, I think GNC is a great company, it provides you supplements, whatever, but I also think that it's pretty sad that nowadays there is a market for things to enhance our beauty or to burn calories to kind of reach that beauty. Now, of course, yeah, it's nice to have, but at the same point, it's I think it's a big part of our lives to kind of just be able to accept ourselves, whether we have flaws, whether we have tribulations, trials, anything that really makes it hard for us to kind of look in the mirror, or even if we don't feel like we're a good person, if you don't feel like you're a good person, I think, the biggest challenge is to kind of sit there, realize that you're making mistakes in your life that you're not happy with and that you want to change eventually, and that, hey, in the future, you change who you are, but physically, I think it's a problem, because it's not something you should change if you don't look like everyone else, or, when you're doing good deeds or anything like that. Whereas someone who doesn't have self-esteem about their image, their body image, your body image should be something you create. It should be something individually created on your own time, without outside factors deciding what you look like, what you feel like. I've seen women that are big that are beautiful. I've seen women that are skinny that are beautiful. I've seen tons of women that are in between and they're beautiful. I think the worst part about it all is that I see it every day. I see insecurities, I see the pain, I see the hurt. I personally was a fat kid, I was a little guy, and I was a little chunky guy, and I think it's hard for a lot of people to realize that, hey, you can make that change, but it doesn't have to be a negative thing, or it doesn't have to be something you have to put yourself down while you're making the transition, or if you're thinking about making that transition. Only you can decide what makes you happy, but at the end of the day, it needs to be your decision. You shouldn't listen to people telling you you're not beautiful. You shouldn't listen to people who are telling you that you need to correct yourself in any way. I personally am a very different kind of person. I don't like to look the same. I don't like to be the same as most people. I have a lot of friends that kind of joke about it and laugh about my long hair and stuff like that, and I love it because you know what? It's unique, I have a lot of tattoos. It's because I like it. It's unique. They have special meaning to me, and it's one of those things, I think, whether you have tattoos, whether you don't have tattoos, whether you have short hair, long hair, it can all mean a lot to yourself, or it can be something that people can appreciate or enjoy altogether. I think if the world was more raw and just kind of told each other what they felt, it'd be so much of a better place. I mean, even nowadays, we're all connected on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all that kind of stuff, and it's hard for us to post a comment to say, hey, you look amazing, or on that post, that looks fucking awesome, or, hey, I don't know you, but I'd like to get to know you. People are so timid nowadays. Meeting people is such a hard thing, I know personally, I'm a very outgoing person, and 9 times out of 10, if I walk up to someone I think is interesting, I've done it in a gym before, where you walk up to, I walked up to a girl the other week or so, walked up to her, and I thought she was going to have a heart attack, because it was so unregular for someone to walk up to her and say, hi, my name's, Greg, think you look really great. And I think it was an immediate defensive reaction where it's like, oh, I have a boyfriend. I was like, oh, no. I just wanted to compliment you. I was like, I really had no intentions. I see you in the gym every now and then, and I just wanted to say, hey, you look awesome, right? And I'm using the gym as a setting because that's where I'm at 90% of my life. But, I mean, the point being is, you shouldn't be afraid to go up to people, and it shouldn't be such a stigma nowadays, that if I have a boyfriend, I need to be defensive. If I have a girlfriend, I need to be defensive. I mean, I'm personally a very territorial person when I get in relationships, and that's something I need to work on. But as a society, I think it's a really terrible thing that we've gotten to the point where we're all friends on Facebook. We're all, connected that way, and any times we ever see a comment be posted on anything, or even it's always just a like or something, because you don't have to introduce your personality in it, and you don't have to be judged. You can't be judged on a like. You click the like button, right? It is what it is. But if you put your comment out there, you're afraid you're going to be judged for what you say, or you're going to be afraid that it's going to be taken the wrong way. But that's the beauty in interaction, If someone does react well to it, it's going to make their day, So making the effort to go out there and say, hey, I'm gonna tell this person they're beautiful. Hey, I'm going to tell him he looks awesome, he's getting super fit, and he's doing great. Or, hey, he's a fucking amazing gamer, and I love watching him play games, or I love watching his content, or something for people who stream on Twitch or play games, or people who are starting their journey. Hey, awesome, keep it up. I think the world needs more of that. And I think it should be one of our biggest concerns is that human empathy and happiness and just the camaraderie of human beings is deteriorating because of technology, whereas I think it could be 10 times better because of technology. It makes it easier to meet people, makes it easier to see people from other parts of the world that you never would even got to see otherwise. I mean, I'm on Instagram liking some woman's photo from Italy or some dude's photo from fucking Japan or something, and hey, I might post a comment, they might not understand it, but if I get a response back where they try to, make some sort of smiley face back, it's happened multiple times. It happened numerous times. One of my favorite things to do is just go on random Instagrams and just post a positive comment, whether it be awesome or, whether it be something I just think is interesting, And yeah, we all have negative thoughts, but I think that's something we don't need to post about, right? I go on my Facebook and I very rarely post controversial things. Not because I'm not a controversial person. I have very, very different views than most people. My views are very opinion oriented, and I don't think the same as a lot of people. I'm very different in that sense. But at the same point, there are things that I do post because I think it can be a powerful platform to post your opinion and just share your ideas. As long as you're educated on the topic, I think it's a great thing. A lot of times we post things that we don't even know about. I posted, I think one of the best examples of this was when I posted that the story about the gay couple being denied marriage rights. Now we all have different opinions on it, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. Personally, I think it was wrong, and I think that she should be in trouble. But at the same point, it's not the political or it's not the law part of it. It's the compassion. For me, every human being should be loved. Now, a buddy of mine, one of my favorite people on this planet, Ethan Callison, wrote back to me, and he said, hey, and he's a very religious person, wants to be a minister, and, he's going to do great things for the world, and he's going to inspire so many people and show them their true faith and religion, and I think he's going to lead a lot of people to great, things. And I also think that it was just a great conversation because it just shows we had different opinions, but not once did either of us get very, we got passionate, but we didn't get angry about each other's opinion. We could accept that, hey, we have different opinions, and it's just a cool reality to be like, hey, you think that way, and I think that way, but neither of us is wrong. We can both have our opinions, and it can be okay. And that's another thing that I think we all should do, is be more accepting. You don't have to like what the other person is saying, but understand that they have reasons for believing that way, or you have reasons for believing the way you believe. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, and I think that's one thing that has become a problem is people believe that someone's opinion, if it's not the same as theirs, is an attack on their opinion, when it doesn't necessarily have to be. I think we all need to make it a big effort in trying to make positive posts and just try to change the world in a positive way. I think that's kind of one of the biggest things that I want to do with my life. Everybody has a career in mind. Everybody's going to college or doing this or that. I personally never wanted to go to college. I went to college for a year. It just wasn't for me. I like working at GNC. I like chasing a whole modeling career or trying to become successful in the sense of trying to do something like that. But more than anything, in the forefront of my mind is I want to be a positive influence. I want to be someone who could, that's friendly to people who don't know me. Hey, if I don't know you and you message me on Facebook or Instagram or anything, I'm gonna respond, and I'm gonna be happy to respond, and I'm gonna be nice and polite as long as you're polite to me. And I think there's a lot of things that people, they come up with a dream job, and I more want to come up with a dream goal. It's like a dream objective that I want to reach at some point in my life, to know, hey, I've helped this many people out, or I've made the world a better place in this way. I just want to be able to help people, whether it be an outlet or anything like that. I'm not a professional psychiatrist or anything, but I guarantee you I can help you out most of the times, with how you're feeling and stuff, because I've felt that way. I think all human beings have the capability to be compassionate, and if you need, some sort of constructive criticism or anything like that, I'm also going to be that person that could be there and help people out with that. I think that's how we should be, a community. I live in Stanton, Virginia, small community, but I've also lived in Toronto, and I've also lived in, Ohio and Toledo, Ohio, which are, decent sized places, and altogether you learn that people are all the same. They just have different covers, I guess. It's such a weird thing because everyone acts the same. There's no difference in how people respond to you or how people like to be approached or how to make friends. When you move to a new area, the biggest thing to do is just jump right in. Don't be afraid of how people will judge you, because 9 times out of 10, they don't, they're not set out to be mean to you. They're not set out to hurt you. And, I think it's, you go to a new place and you learn a lot of things about how everyone in the world is connected in some way, shape, or form. And it all breaks down to a base formula and just being yourself. That's how you be successful in anything you do. Be yourself, whether it be your job, whether it be your career, your workouts. If you're living your life and you want to do something and you don't do it, you're never going to get there. If you do want to become successful in something, just throw yourself out there. Who cares? You think I'm good? Like, my first thoughts on YouTube were I was scared as hell people were going to judge me. But then I thought about it and I was like, well, isn't that what you want? If you make a YouTube account, you want to be judged. You want people to see who you are, and you want people to feel how you feel. You want to relay yourself out in the world and be a bigger part of it, Whether that be good or bad, like criticism coming my way or anything. It's still me being out in the world, and it gets me that much closer to being comfortable with me 100%, I think these intimate videos and like the videos of just kind of throwing my opinion out there, I think will be positive for some people, and some people won't care, and that's fine. But I do think these kind of videos can really change someone's mind, can change someone's aspect of their thought and just change their mind state. And, hey, if they're in down times, it could be something that helps them, and if it does, it's awesome. And I'd love to hear about it, and if I can personally help you out in any way, I'd love to help out, So, just late night thoughts. I was laying down in bed and honestly just saw that Facebook video of the lady standing in the middle of a crowd, and she was overweight, and she was in just basically underwear and a bra, and held out markers, and then had a little, it was like a chalkboard, I think. A chalkboard, and it basically wrote on it, hey, I'm standing here in the middle of this crowd for all the people who have insecurities. I'm showing that it's okay. And she was basically saying, I will be the person to represent that there is love in the world. And she took a big risk because A lot of people could have ridiculed her, and a lot of people could have drawn stupid stuff on her and made a mockery because she blindfolded herself. She didn't allow herself to see any of it, so people could do it without being judged, or so that they didn't feel uncomfortable writing what they wanted. And when she took off the blindfold, it was all positive things. There was hearts, and there was people's names, and just all kinds of stuff like "I love you." And it's a really positive video, and I just it got me thinking more about how that video really made me feel good about it. And why not just throw my thoughts in, and hopefully this helps someone out. And I know I rambled, but I think that's part of it. I think this is just my thoughts. I didn't think about this video other than literally I just got up out of bed, put a shirt on, and decided to make this video. And I think that's a lot of what I like to do. This is my favorite kind of videos, in the sense that I hope I do get comments back, so that I can help other people, or if they have questions, or if they just feel uncomfortable about something, and they feel like expressing their emotions to someone, I'm there, So make it a big point to go out in your community and make a big impact, whether it be little deeds here and there that eventually lead up to something big, or just or just big events. You decide to go out and just walk through a mall and tell a bunch of people they're beautiful, or go on Instagram and do little things like that, and just post positive comments. If you see a picture you really think's amazing, don't just like it. Write a comment, because it could make that person's day. I think if you put yourself out there and you put positive vibes out there, you'll get positive back. And I think the best way to do that is to just share the love and just kind of be okay with everybody and be understanding. And if you do have an opinion on something, write your opinion, as long as it's not offensive, right? Be positive about it and show your side of the coin, but don't be disrespectful and not respect the other person's side of the coin, right? So I think I'm going to end this here. I hope you all have a great night. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like if you did like the video. Please go out and do something good in your community, and if you do have comments that you want to share with me, please do. And if you have any messages, please just message me on Instagram or Facebook and just kind of let me know what's going on. And if you need someone to talk to, I'm always there, so please make sure you use that if you ever do need it. But either way, have a good night, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. But I know it's not for